Talking Sports with I'm SABREE Anderson.
I'm Scott Swope.
And we have a special guest on our show today.
So today we have Luke Casey, local quarterback. He's from Howard County. He played in the county. And Luke, tell us a little about yourself.
So first of all, thank you guys for having me on.
Sure.
It's a pleasure to be on here with you two. Yeah, so a little bit about me. I started playing, I grew up in Columbia, Maryland. Started playing football 7 years old. Absolutely fell in love with it. Played for a great youth organization. Was lucky enough to go play in Baltimore, Mount St. Joseph High School. It's a pretty prestigious sports school back in the day. I went from there, actually transferred. Is where I met this guy. I went to Atherton High School. And he came up one day, we were practicing, and he came up in his big souped up Jeep, big strong guy, and I was looking around like, man, who is this guy? Like, should we be worried this guy's watching? And from that point on, I've been training with him, and he got me in the weight room and got me a lot bigger, really helped my game out. And went from there, played a little ball at University of Rhode Island, played some ball at West Virginia Wesleyan.
Who's the team that you played when you was in Rhode Island?
University of Rhode Island. That's where I was at, and I was there for about a year and a half.
What conference was that?
CAA Division One. They played some teams like Towson.
Nice, yeah.
It was.
How'd you do against Towson?
I actually wasn't playing. I was still a freshman, so I was still redshirting at the time. I think we lost to Towson that year, though.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, they're good.
They're pretty good.
But no, I had some good times there. Went and played at West Virginia Wesleyan, and we talked a little bit.
Yes.
Some Glenville.
Glenville, Fairmont State, Shepherd, and all that stuff.
Tough school.
There was what's the other teams in the conference? It was
So, like you said, Fairmont
West Virginia State, right?
West Virginia State's. We
Yeah.
play West Virginia State every year. We actually some Ohio teams as well. So Notre Dame out of Ohio, which is a pretty good.
And wasn't there a team on a mountain, West Liberty or something?
Yes, West Liberty is up on the mountain. Yes, sir. You got to take that drive.
Right? I know. Yes.
You got to take that drive up the mountains, and sometimes you feel like that big team bus is gonna roll over.
Your ears be popping and stuff. I lost to them a couple times. I understand.
We had some good battles here and there, but but I really enjoyed my time there. Had a good career and was lucky enough to kind of find my way talking to some agents and start playing overseas in Europe. So kind of that opportunity kind of came when I graduated, and I talked to a few local guys who have done the same thing, and they absolutely loved it. They told me, don't even question it, just
right.
So,
that's tight.
Yeah. So we were talking too, and I know Luke from way back, like he says, but he comes from a pretty prolific athletic family. So I know, his uncles are all like over 6'6", and they're massive guys.
Yeah, nice.
Can you tell us a little bit about your sister and your dad and all their playing?
Yeah, so he's right. Yeah, my family, I got to give them some credit. I guess where I got it from must have been my mom and dad. And my dad, big basketball player growing up in the Rockville, Montgomery County area, and really good at high school. He went on to play at Coastal Carolina, he was really good there. He actually did a year at Montgomery College, and he's in their Hall of Fame.
Oh, nice.
So and then he went on to and then he went on to Coastal, and he played there for 4 years, and he coached there for a few years as well. He was the assistant with a guy named Mike Bray was on the staff. He's now with Notre Dame, and some guys like that. And so he was great. Obviously, that's where I get it from. My sister, gotta give her a lot of credit. Caroline was she was at Rhode Island when I was there. She played volleyball there. So she's also local, really good high school volleyball
Unbelievable
player.
athlete.
She's probably a better athlete than me.
I don't know.
And,
she's really good.
She's good, and so she was great, and we got to share some time in college together, both playing ball. And then my uncle, actually, he played for the 49ers and the Patriots. He's also
Bob Windsor is a great NFL player. Like you said, he played for the Patriots. He played for the 49ers.
Yeah, and
back in the heyday.
He's back. He was like playing back in the '60s, and it was a lot different back then. But he's a big bruiser, and he gets a lot. I get a lot of my kind of inspiration, and he kind of he'll keep me going and teach me a whole lot about the game. It's good. It's awesome to be able to go sit and talk ball with him.
So funny thing, SABREE, when I was a kid in high school. And even in college.
That's a leather helmet.
No face mask.
Leather helmet.
Bob Windsor owned this unbelievable sporting goods store in Laurel.
Oh, that's
and it was the place where all the kids went. I mean, he had all kinds of stuff. But the neat thing is he always had NFL balls, and they're always cheaper than you can get anywhere else.
Yeah.
And when he went out of business, I was like heartbroken because I could get an NFL ball for like $15.
Right.
Now they cost like $100.
I know,
It's ridiculous.
crazy now,
But Bob was like, everybody's like, I gotta go to Bob Windsor's to buy stuff. And then I found out his uncle. And and Bob coached in the Maryland for a long time, different high schools, and very successful, great guy. But I started lifting with this guy, or he started lifting with me.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's the other way around.
And when we first started, I think Luke weighed about, what, 180, 175, 180, and he played basketball, and then we got him up to 205 in 3 months before going to college, because he worked his ass off.
He's really knows what he's doing, and not just with me, but there's other athletes that I'm friends with that he's really just packed on the weight and packed on the muscle, and in a short amount of time.
But he bought into the whole thing, and the nutrition, because getting big is not just lifting; it's like 75% is what you eat. And we would be going to school, and I was be coaching at Spalding, and we would have lifted, and then he has a big bag in here. In the Jeep as we're going to lifting, and he's eating sandwiches. I'm like, why didn't you bring me anything? I'm starving. So he bought into the whole thing.
Right.
So it was great to see, though, when he got out of college, and we have some unbelievable clips of his
mobility and everything.
It's just ridiculous.
Yes.
So we have a clip of Luke and some of his highlights from college.
In motion and stuff.
And we'll take a look at that right now.
Yeah.
So, the clip that we just showed, classic.
I guess
millennial stuff. That's cool. That's
cool.
So
they kind of the NFL kind of grandfathered in the whole celebration, no penalty type thing. And I was going into my 5th year of playing ball, and I've been there for a while. So we were trying to have as much fun with it as possible.
And you did. I especially like the one where you're laying on the ground. You're doing the whole thing. It's just absolutely crazy.
To be young again. I understand.
See, when I played, if I did that, I'd have been kicked off the field. Being a hot dog or something,
Well, a lot of coaches, I've had a whole bunch of different coaches throughout my career, and only some of them let you kind of have that fun like that.
Sure. But it should be fun.
It should be. And, you work hard all week, and you go and you make the big play, and you want to give them a little air guitar.
So the thing I took away from it, I know you watched it too, Sabree. The mobility of this guy, I mean, he's got a great arm. He's big. What are you, 6'4", 205, 210? Great mobility in the pocket, and he's able to escape. Plus, he's able to run and elude people, too. It's really, really impressive watching you do that.
Now, when you gain that weight and stuff, how's your flexibility and stuff? Did you feel that much of a big difference, or?
A lot of people, I'd have an athletic director come up to me all the time when I was getting big with him, and he would tell me, you can't keep getting so big.
Not too solid, right.
We're going to change you to another position.
Tight end,
that's what they said. That's what they said. And, but no, I actually, and it credit to his program, or maybe I was, the stretching we were doing also. But as I got bigger at that age, I never really felt like I was getting tight. Or
you didn't feel bulky and stuff. You just felt more solid.
I just felt more solid, and it was a huge confidence boost on the field to be bigger. And now it's like, okay, I can do the same things, but now I can do them with more weight. I can pack a punch.
There's some clips that we saw on there where you actually truck some of those defensive backs that are coming up to get you, and that's great. But we're going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, we're going to talk to Luke a little bit more about his experience over in Europe, where he just started his professional career.
We'll be right back.
So we're back with We're Talking Sports, and our guest again today is Luke Casey, professional quarterback.
Yes.
He hates saying that, but he is a professional quarterback.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk a little bit. He's over there in Europe now. The shirt that I have on here, San Juan Cougars,
Yes.
was the team he played for last year in Paris. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so that was really a new experience. And,
Well, before you went over there, what did you do to prepare to go to France? I mean, did they tell you like the ins and outs, like, you know what I'm saying, the culture a little bit?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you know, I talked to some of the so you're only allowed two. They call them import players, but it's American players.
Real quick, is it the French is the different divisions?
So French has different divisions.
Yeah, I noticed something with the European divisions, right? Something like
Yeah,
that.
they do it a lot like their soccer. So
Yeah.
they'll have, in our club alone, we have an elite division.
Yes.
We have a B team,
Yes.
which is just called the second division.
Right.
We have U19, which is about a high school kind of age range. And they're only allowed two Americans.
Yes. Yeah,
And
yeah.
so, you know, I went back and talked to the Americans that have played on the team.
Yeah.
And, you know, they kind of got me.
Yeah.
ready.
You ever heard of the Team USA?
Oh, yeah.
Or something? Yeah,
So
yeah.
They do a national tournament as well as the
Yes.
French division. So you
I'm
have
one of the
French-
original Team USA dudes.
No
long
kidding.
time ago. Yeah,
That's
awesome.
I told you I'm
Small
old.
world.
Nah, he's not that.
Stop with that old stuff.
Yeah,
Sabrina.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's why I remember the divisions and stuff and the imports or something like
Yeah.
that. So yeah, it's very special. You got the French and stuff.
Yeah.
Did you brush up on your French?
Oh, I could say a little bit here. A lot of it
I
was,
just eat
I
French
help
fries.
I say, you know, I learned a lot of the competitive talk
Right,
on the
right.
field.
On the field talk, yeah.
That was
See,
kinda,
he's young. He's like, just show me where the women at.
you know,
It's cool, man.
It's fun to be a 24 years old single living in
Paris, oh my
you know,
gosh.
So,
Yeah.
He told me what a vignette was, too.
Oh,
While I was
yeah?
texting him one day.
nice,
He was over there,
nice.
and I got very
Getting the
hungry.
lingo already, man.
Yeah,
Getting the lingo
Probably
already.
the craziest food that I tried over there though had to be the foie gras. It's the
Foie gras.
it's
Excuse me.
It's
Duck or...
It's duck. It's duck liver, and
Oh.
it tastes kind of like a cheese spread. It spreads like cheese, and you put it on different breads and
Right,
cheeses, and
right.
really different. But you know, you learn a bunch of different stuff out there, and even the football was just great. You know, a great roommate. He went to Dartmouth. He's an import, and we had a great time. The people I met over there, you know, those are friendships. You
Yes.
know,
So do they connect you with other imports, or y'all just come in and just mesh with the team just off the break?
We did mess with the team, and maybe that's a credit to our club, and we had a close-knit group. But, you know, me and the import, we had an apartment together.
Yes.
And so we spent our time, but we did get along with the other team's imports.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
you know, we
Yeah.
play them, and you got 4 guys over there from America, everyone else is from France. It's, you know, even though there's competitive juices flowing, you can go over after the game and
Yeah, yeah.
back them up
Right,
and
yeah,
talk to
yeah,
them,
yeah.
and met some really cool guys that way. And then now, you know, now I'm moving over. I had a great time there. I'm really like the experience being able to travel.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go over and play in Rome here in the next season.
So
I'm
what
gonna
about
try-
the competition? Would you say it was college level, maybe a little
Definitely.
above? You know, I mean,
It depending on the teams you played, because it's I guess the spectrum's different. There's some really good teams,
Yes.
and there's some teams that aren't as good.
Yeah.
But overall, definitely a college
Atmosphere
level.
and some of that,
for
yeah.
sure. There's some kids over there that really actually, if they had their chance,
yeah.
if they lived over here, I
Yeah,
think they would
give people a run over there, right?
Absolutely.
Right. Nah,
Now, you had a
respect.
couple players that you played with that actually signed with the CFL, right? And
Right.
a couple that you know that went to the XFL this year.
Right. Yeah.
And that's hopefully our goal for you, you know, getting you back over here in the States
Yeah.
and having you play for one of those teams too.
Absolutely.
That's
yeah.
definitely a goal.
That's definitely the end goal. And, you know, these leagues are competitive, and you get, like I said, team we played, their quarterback, he just went and got signed. You know, we actually beat them. And he just
Right.
he went and got signed by the Winnipeg team, who's still actually playing for the Grey Cup in the CFL.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So, you know, there's definitely that opportunity there, and that's what I'm gunning for. But at the same time, you got to really, you know, you got to take advantage of living over in a really cool city in
Yeah.
Europe as a young, you know, really soak it up. And it's that's why I'm going back again to try this out.
Oh, that's
one more
nice.
time.
That's
But,
So, just to let you know, this young man will be living near a beach
Oh, nice.
in Rome this year.
Nice.
And from what I understand, it has some pretty good sights. at the beach. So along with playing football, he should have a pretty good time.
Yeah.
So you'll be right
Meeting
in the city of
people.
Rome.
So our team is located in Rome.
Yeah.
I'll be
Rome
living-
Gladiators. What,
Funny,
The
we're the
Ducks.
Lazio Ducks.
Lazio
The
Ducks.
Ducks. So I don't know if we have any cool phrases yet. Quack, I don't know. Let's fly.
We're gonna do
Right.
this thing when we score a touchdown.
You know, I'm gonna bring some of those out, if only for you guys. But
Yeah.
That's right.
yeah, it's
So technically, you went from eating duck to playing
for
duck.
There you go.
Not even
That's
thinking
right.
about
Very nice. Very nice.
And hopefully they have me trying some crazy foods over there as well.
Right, right.
But no, so we're located in Rome, but I'm living about 15 miles south, which is called Ostia Beach. It
nice.
still is Rome. It's in the Rome, like the municipal district, right? It is Rome.
Yes.
But it's not near the Trevi Fountain or the Spanish Steps. But they provide you with a lot there, so I'll be able to get around and check out those places whenever I want.
Yeah.
So.
Do they give you an area to practice, or
We have
Like on
two
the-
facilities, yeah.
Oh,
So
really?
our team actually is two. So we do 2 days a week in the southeast region of Rome, and
Yes.
then we do one practice a week up in the very middle of Rome.
right?
And so we use these two facilities.
I thought maybe they'll slide y'all in the Coliseum to practice.
You know what? I might
Just
not get
there's
out.
no lions.
I might not get out, but
Yes.
nah. So it's really an incredible experience. You meet great people. You get to continue playing the game you love.
Yes.
And
That's right, man.
yeah, and it's just been an awesome experience.
And you have had some contacts over here, and like we say, we're hoping that they keep, seeing how you're doing over there. We can get you back over here. But I wanted to mention one of the guys that was your coach, Xavier Moss. We met him. Luke and I also coach in a high school, and Xavier came all the way down to Florida to watch a game. We played Bishop Moore.
That's
It was
right.
great
Yeah,
meeting
that's
him,
right.
Yeah.
and he's an awesome guy. And I think Luke owes him a lot too,
Absolutely.
as far as getting him over there and getting him going.
Yeah.
That's
But
right, man.
Luke and I were discussing, and one thing I wanted to ask him last time we were talking about different types of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Okay, and you kept on saying I was a Tom Brady fan.
Great.
But I mean, I like him because I think Luke's a Tom Brady fan too.
Yeah. Is
But,
that your quarterback too?
He's not my team. He's not my number one, but I just have the most respect.
There's a lot of
Oh
respect.
yeah,
for him,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But of course,
It's
like
called
who's your
bandwagon for me.
No, never that.
No, that's
never that.
fine. That's fine.
who's your favorite quarterback? Would you say?
Well, I mean, I'm a Redskin fan, but
We won't hold that against you.
but right now it would be Russell Wilson.
Okay.
So
Like all time though, would that be your all time?
all time.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna bring one back from the.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring one back from the day.
Since we're older, I'm more Otto Graham.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, I said I'm old school and stuff, but more Mark Ripken, Joe Theismann,
Sure,
all
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like Johnny Unitas, of course, because I'm, older. But I also
Yes.
like Montana and those guys. And I was going to ask Luke, who do you like and who do you pattern yourself off? I
Matter of
feel
fact,
it's like-
didn't I say he kind of Josh Rosen-ish a little bit?
I'm
You
glad
all-
you said that.
Yeah.
It's funny
Josh
because
Rosen without the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So funny he brought up two guys that I really look up to their game and really try to model any way I can.
Right.
So you got Russell Wilson.
Yes.
For the fact that he uses his mobility not just to run,
Right.
but he uses his mobility to open up different passing lanes.
Yes.
And I really try to watch, and he's very efficient with his decisions. So he'll come and he'll be running out of the pocket, and at the perfect time, 3rd and 5, he knows when to get down and slide.
Yes.
And
He's
take
very
it.
efficient.
Super efficient.
Yes,
and
yes,
it's he's a great person out of the game. Now Josh Rosen and I, we kind of look more like.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And he's a bruiser. He can run, and
Yes.
I love that about him. But he also can rip the ball 50, 60 yards.
Yes, strong arm. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
It looks like we're almost out of time here.
Yeah. Yes, and while we're talking to Luke, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
So we'd like to welcome you back to We're Talking Sports. And once again, our guest today is Luke Casey. We've had some fun with him today talking about his experiences his upbringing, where he's from. And what we were just talking about before break was who your favorite quarterback is and who you pattern yourself off of. And yeah, go ahead and continue with that.
Yeah, so for the fact, and it's funny that he brought them up. We didn't plan it, but you know, the Rosen and Wilson are two guys. And like I said, Russell Wilson's efficiency, getting out of the pocket, knowing when to take that run, when to slide, when to pass. He knows how to get guys open by running around, which is something that's very hard to do.
Yes.
And he does a great job of it. He always seems to be making the right decision.
Right. And if you remember when we showed the clips of your highlights in college, a lot of the stuff that Luke doesn't actually occur in the pocket.
Yes.
You know, he buys himself time, gets out of the pocket, and you know, throws off balance and just makes some unbelievable throws.
Yeah, you have very nice footwork and stuff. You work on that a lot?
I do, yeah.
So, yeah, I was just going to say, go ahead and tell them about some of the stuff you do.
Oh, man. So we, you know, luckily with him and some one or two other coaches that have trained me back in the same routine I've had since high school, I still stick to now.
Yes.
And I can't throw the ball well unless my feet feel right. You know,
Yes,
if my feet aren't quick and it maybe a week off of not hitting ladders, cones, all types of things. But I have quarterback-specific footwork drills that I do and teach actually at the Quarterback Factory on Sundays right around this area. So yeah, and it's important. A lot of people the little intricacies of the game, they don't understand that you could be a great quarterback in college, and there's just a lot with your feet that you need to learn.
Right.
Not just, hey, what drop do I take? It's what based on which route they're running.
Yeah. The little stuff. The little stuff. Right.
And that's something I know you guys know all about, but you know,
The average person doesn't know anything as far as the intricacies of what it takes to play the position. Same with line.
Yeah.
You know, I listen to our line coach all the time talking about you got to take this step, and it's got to be 6 inches, and then this one's got to be, and I'm like, it's amazing that what people don't understand goes into playing line.
Yeah.
Even defensive line, right?
Yeah. So you're more connected with your old lineman.
Yeah, you know, you have to be, but you know, one thing, you want to be as close as you can with those guys, so they don't leave you out to dry. But you gotta have a feel for them and what they're good at, because you know if they're not going to be holding up against certain teams, I gotta get out and make it happen other places. But yeah, I'm definitely connected with them, and I try to know as much about their jobs as possible.
Right.
You know what I mean?
There's slides and all that stuff.
Oh yeah. And that a lot of teams I've played for, and I've had a new offensive coordinator every single year of college.
Yes.
So I've been in different systems, and some of them have me call the protections. I want them to slide right based off the pressure, and throw hot off this guy, and all types of different blitz looks you got to pick up, and so definitely.
Are you the type of QB that after you have a good game and stuff, and the whole line, you be like, oh man, y'all gonna get lunch later, and you slide a little Rolex? Well, not right now.
Not the Rolex. We're gonna get there.
That's Tom Brady.
They're gonna get the
Rolex.
Rolexes.
With Tom Brady again.
I'm surprised you're not talking about Johnny U right now. That's
Johnny couldn't afford that. He only made $5,000 a year.
Right.
And then he had to have a job after the season too.
Oh
Yeah.
But one thing that Luke and I were talking about, and I know Lamar has just been having an unbelievable season.
Yes,
you know,
he is.
he's
MVP
like the
season.
change
Absolutely.
of the NFL. Such a great kid too, from what I understand.
Yes.
And a lot of people were giving him a hard time because when he first came in, when you go from college, the system that he was in, where they hold cards up and everything is signaled in,
Right.
and then you have to get into the NFL where everything is verbal. You have to, actually say the play in the huddle, which can be complicated. Give us an example of one of those plays we were talking about. The quarterback has to say in the huddle with 60,000 people yelling, and these linemen, everybody are breathing heavy. Go ahead and give them an idea.
So it's crazy because not many people, a lot of the high school and colleges will try to simplify it, like you said, but you get to the NFL, and it's something like you go to the sideline or you get in the headset, fullback west, slot right, tight, rewind, X 372, Y stick, on set, on go. And that's something you need to have pulled out of your head. You need to know what every single part of that means something different, as you guys know. So I'm giving formation where they need to line up. And then tight and slot are also formational calls. And you got rewind as a motion. And you got the play as X 372, Y stick. And then that's what all your receivers are doing, plus the back protection as well. And that's something that you need to process in a split second, communicate to the team, as well as go execute when the defense could give you a look you think they're going to give you and they give you another one. You never know what they're going to do. So It's something that I think quarterbacks learn at a young age when they're running back from sideline to sideline, and it's a memorization thing. And I know some people just aren't, they don't like to do that. And I think it's helped me in school even because my whole life, every fall, I'm sitting there memorizing a new playbook every year.
Yeah, I was just about to ask that on the level of different coordinators. When you meet the new coordinator, like how long does it take to maybe inherit the new stuff and try to relate it to old stuff? You feel what I'm saying? To be more comfortable and stuff. You probably gotta be quick on that, right?
Yeah, so most people, you do. And I've had...
Because, a fullback left is a fullback left. It's just different language.
Or west or east.
Yes, 100%. And that's the thing. So it's tough. I've had some summers where we get a call and the new offense coordinator was hired a month before the season started.
Yes.
So now you're looking at, okay, I got to learn this. And then we got camp. Every other team has been running the same plays for 3 years now, 4 years now.
Yes.
And but no, you're absolutely right. So many coaches, they're saying the same thing. You can't get too different, but they're calling it a different name.
Yes.
So now you could have, for instance, this could be a play call.
Yeah.
And that could be one coach's way of saying draw left and move square, and then somebody else could have just a written down, like I said, west, fullback right.
Yeah.
Draw south or draw north, and then it's like, okay, that's the same thing.
Yeah.
But I gotta process these different
Yeah.
signals and concepts, and but in the same token, it's also helped me out a great deal with coaching and as a quarterback as well, just because I understand so many different systems.
Yes.
And also have seen what works and what doesn't work. So
see, Scott get on me because I played D line. So for D lineman, it's just left or right.
Yeah, I think it's a little more than that.
It's just left or right.
Well,
go get them.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
We're not supposed to get along. But no, you.
These are the two quarterbacks talking.
Well, Luke, I tell you, it's great having Luke today on our show, and you have to promise us when you get over there, you're going to send us some clips back. You're going to send us some stuff we can show.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And when you come back, we definitely want you to have you back on the show and give us an idea of what went on and how the season went.
Yeah, we need clips. We need helmets. We need
shirts.
More shirts, shields, wires, and everything.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Luke Casey.
Thank you guys very much. It was really fun.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for coming out for the show, man.
And thank you again for watching us on We're Talking Sports.